What's up everybody, my name is Astonishing Pix and welcome to another review. And today I'm happy to review the Mines of Mandalore Din Djarin, or the Mandalorian. And yeah, this is a new figure that has came out a little bit, like I would say like recently, but honestly this figure is pretty impressive honestly, and it's a retool of the previous Mando that we got. Now I think this is the season 3 Mando, so it's not going to be 100% same reuse as, you know, the season 2 Mando, because, you know, they all have their differences. But just off the bat, you could just see the difference between this Mando and the Mando that we got before, the Beskar, and you know, there is a significant improvement when it comes to the sculpt, and I guess a little bit of the articulation. It's more modern, as they say it, but to be honest, I think it's a little bit of a step back when it comes to some of the articulation, but it's not too different. I would say that this honestly looks aesthetically more fitting than what we previously have gotten. MSRP is about $24.99, I believe, and honestly it's not bad, but I would say that it is kind of a step back considering we're also getting the Glavis Ringworld Mando, and that one does, you know, cost the same but includes a little bit more accessories with a cloth cape, which is probably one of the issues I have with this Mando. But it's not the figure itself, it's just honestly what he comes with. So taking a closer look at this guy, you can see again that is all new sculpt. I think that this is more accurate to what we see on screen, and I think this pretty much goes on par with other lines such as Figuarts and Mafex. I know those have their own gripes, and I know that those guys are more expensive because since they're imports and everything, but you expect them to be accurate with their stuff considering the price point. But honestly, most people say that SH Figuarts is more toyetic, while, you know, Mafex has its other issues. But honestly, I think that Hasbro did a great job with this guy in the sculpt department, so I honestly think that he looks pretty much one-to-one on what we see on screen. And again, the only issue I have with this guy is the plastic cape. Now, the plastic cape is an issue that I had with the other Mando, which I got him a cloth cape, which is pretty cool. And I wish that this one came also with a cloth cape, but I know that this isn't the Glavis Ringworld one. That one was harder to obtain because of the cloth cape itself. So honestly, it's not that bad, but you know, I wish it was different. Again, the helmet is much more accurate than what we got. The first helmet was atrocious. I would say it. I can't say that I can't point out exactly what was wrong with it, but you know, it just didn't look like what we saw in the show. It was obviously inferior. A lot of people had to get third-party custom heads or helmets for that guy. The previous Mando was okay, but it honestly didn't hold the candle to what we later saw, and it obviously is inferior to what we are getting now. But yeah, you can see we have this overlay that most figures in the Black Series now have, and honestly it looks pretty good. It looks like there's a person actually wearing this. Anyways, let's move on to the articulation. So you can see that he can move up, down, and he can move side to side with that double ball peg joint. Sorry. He can move around, and he does have that little shoulder articulation or shoulder engineering that most other troopers have now, so which is pretty good. It can move all the way up this far, and he also can move about 90 degrees, which is more or less the same as what we previously have gotten. And he does have a hinge at the wrist area, and again, it's pretty much more or less different on each side of the wrist. As far as diaphragm joint, he doesn't have that much because of that overlay, but I don't really mind that much. He's not Spider-Man, so it's okay. And he can move his hip joints about that far, and his knee goes about 90 degrees, which is a step back from what we've gotten in the past, but it does look more seamless. So he also has that swivel, and he does have that swivel and the ankle rocker that works well in his favor. So let's get into the accessories. So first up, he does come with his dark saber, and this is kind of more or less the same as the previous Darksaber that we did get with Moff Gideon. So this, I think it's way better engineered. As you can see, you could remove the Darksaber from the hilt, and you could honestly place it in the back because he does have like a little holster there for you to carry it, and honestly it fits in pretty well. But I know most of us will have it placed in his hand, but yeah, it looks pretty good. But I would say that he also does come with his iconic blaster, and I think that time they removed the little strap-on that they had to keep it in place. And he also does come with his little knife here that he does have, or his vibro blade, I would say. And it's kind of hard to focus because it's so small, but the sculpt is there and it looks pretty good. But yeah, I think most of the accessories don't really fit in Mando's hand, so that's one thing to note, because he does have that blaster hand for his right, and then that holding hand for the other one, which is too wide. So I don't know why they can't pack any extra hands, but you know, it is what it is. Moving on to size comparisons, here we have Mando, and I'm gonna compare him to other Star Wars characters that we have. Here we have Ezra Bridger, and here we have Sabine Wren. I think that these guys look pretty good and much in scale. As you can see, Mando is the taller of the bunch, and I apologize for my camera moving slightly. I need to invest in a better tripod since I keep breaking them. But yeah, next up we have Mando next to Bo-Katan. As you can see, I think that they look awesome together. And honestly, I'm pretty much thinking about getting the Mafex one too, but who knows. Here we have the SH Figure Arts Boba Fett, and they all look pretty good. I think Boba is a little bit too tall, but I have no idea the scaling or how tall either actors are. And here we have the Black Series Hera Syndulla next to Mando. And yeah, they look good. And here is Captain Rex. Honestly, I didn't expect them to be this tall, but yeah. They all look great in scale together. And next up, I have my custom Mando figure next to the newest Mando in the collection, and Grogu. As you can see, he's very small. But yeah, it's just interesting to see the custom Mando that I have next to the new one that we have. Honestly, I think that the new Hasbro Mando looks infinitely better than the one that we had, the base one, but I also kind of think it does look better than my custom Mando. And now I look at this, seeing that, you know, the neck is too big, and then, you know, the helmet is also a little bit too big on my custom Mando. I wish I could move the cape over to the new Mando, but unfortunately I did have to glue it down because it was annoying me that it would ride up. But yeah, I think honestly that this is a pretty good upgrade, the one on the left. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the one on the right. I'm probably going to sell that custom. It is pretty good and serviceable, and shout out to John Walker Customs for the helmet. I think it looks amazing, and it did work for many years as a better looking Mando than what the Black Series had offered in the past. So that ends my review for this guy. I would rate this guy around an 8 out of 10. This guy does have a lot of improvements and some things that are, you know, a little bit of a step backwards. Mainly the articulation and the plastic cape are the things that are holding it back. But in any other sense, I think that this is a pretty good pickup that I would highly recommend you guys get. Unless you guys happen to see the Glavis Ringworld Mando, then obviously go for that one because of the cloth cape and the jetpack. But other than that, this isn't really a bad figure, so I would say go for it. Definitely a better value compared to the SH Figure Arts and the Mafex. Now the new Mafex, the 2.0 one, does look pretty good than what the first one offered with the Pedro Pascal head and the accessories, so it's up to you, but it is more expensive. So for what you get is pretty much what I would recommend, which is this guy. But you know, you guys do what you guys want to do. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Make sure to check out my other platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, where I upload behind the scenes and some toy photography. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.